I am calling, the purpose of this meeting is to adopt the tentative millage rate and the tentative budget for the Citrus County School Board for the 2015-2016 fiscal year. This is an advertised public hearing. Public notice of this hearing appeared in the Citrus County Chronicle on August 22nd, 2015. The tentative millage rate for required local effort is 4.9410 mils, which includes 0.0230 mils for prior period adjustment, and is an increase of 0.70% over the rollback rate. The tentative millage rate for discretionary is 2.2480 mils, which includes capital outlay, and the total tentative millage rate is 7.1890 mils, and is an increase of 1.42% over the rollback rate. The tentative budget totals $208,175,413. Is there anyone here who wishes to address the board as to the millage levy or any other item within the budget? Anyone wishing to come forward? Last call. There's no one here to comment. Is there a motion to adopt the tentative local required effort millage rate of 4.9410 mils, which includes 0.023 mils for the prior period adjustment for operation purposes?
I move to adopt the tentative local required effort millage rate of 4.9410 mils for operating purposes.
Second.
Linda Powers moved and Sandy Balfour seconded the motion to adopt the tentative local required effort millage rate of 4.9410 mils for operating purposes. Is there any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Is there a motion to adopt tentative discretionary millage rate of 0.748 mils for operating purposes?
I move to adopt the tentative discretionary millage rate of 0.748 mils for operating purposes.
Second.
Ginger Bryant moved and Doug Dodd seconded the motion to adopt the tentative local discretionary millage rate of 0.748 mils for operating purposes. Is there any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Is there a motion to adopt a tentative millage rate of 1.500 mils for capital outlay purposes?
I make a motion to adopt the tentative millage rate of 1.500 mils for capital outlay purposes.
Second.
Sandy Balfour moved and Linda Powers seconded the motion to adopt the tentative millage rate of 1.500 mils for capital outlay purposes. Is there any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries 5-0. These millage rates represent a total millage rate of 7.1890 mils. Is there a motion to approve the resolution to adopt the tentative millage rate?
I move to approve the resolution to adopt the tentative millage rate.
Second.
Doug Dodd moved and Ginger Bryant had seconded the motion to approve the resolution to adopt the tentative millage rate.
Resolution of the Citrus County School Board adopting the tentative millage rates for fiscal year 2015-2016. Whereas the School Board of Citrus County, Florida did pursuant to chapters 200 and 1011 Florida statutes approve tentative millage rates for the fiscal year July 1, 2015 to June 30, 2016. And whereas at the public hearing and in full compliance with chapter 200 Florida statutes, the School Board Citrus County adopted the tentative millage rates in the amounts of required local effort tentative millage levy 4.9410, proposed amount to be raised $42,032,921. Basic discretionary tentative millage levy 0.7480, proposed amount to be raised $6,363,211. Capital outlay tentative millage levy 1.5000, proposed amount to be raised $12,760,450. The total millage rate to be levied is more than the rollback rate by 1.42%. Now therefore be it resolved that the School Board of Citrus County adopted each tentative millage rate for the fiscal year July 1, 2015 to June 30, 2016 on August 25, 2015 by separate vote prior to adopting the tentative budget.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 5-0. Is there a motion to adopt the tentative budget of the Citrus County School Board for the 2015-2016 fiscal year in the amount of $208,175,413?
I move to adopt the tentative budget of the Citrus County School Board for the 2015-16 fiscal year in the amount of $208,175,413.
Second.
Linda Powers moved and Sandy Balfour seconded the motion to adopt the tentative budget of the Citrus County School Board for the 2015-2016 fiscal year in the amount of $208,175,413. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 5-0. Is there a motion to approve the resolution adopting the tentative budget of the Citrus County School Board for the 2015-2016 fiscal year?
I move to approve the resolution adopting the tentative budget of the Citrus County School Board for the 2015-16 fiscal year.
Second.
Sandy Balfour moved and Ginger Bryan seconded the motion to approve the resolution adopting the tentative budget of the Citrus County School Board for the 2015-2016 fiscal year.
A resolution of the Citrus County School Board adopting the tentative budget of fiscal year 2015-2016. Whereas the School Board of Citrus County, Florida did pursuant to Chapters 200 and 1011 Florida statutes approve tentative millage rates and a tentative budget for fiscal year July 1, 2015 to June 30, 2016. And whereas the School Board of Citrus County set forth the appropriations and revenue estimates for the budget for fiscal year 2015-2016. And whereas at the public hearing and in full compliance with Chapter 200 Florida statutes, the School Board of Citrus County adopted the tentative millage rates in the budget in the amount of $208,175,413 for fiscal year 2015-2016. Now therefore be it resolved that the attached budget of the School Board of Citrus County, including the millage rates as set forth therein, is hereby adopted by the School Board of Citrus County as a tentative budget for the categories indicated for fiscal year July 1, 2015 to June 30, 2016.
All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Is there a motion to adopt the tentative budget as the current operating budget until the final budget is approved?
I move to adopt the tentative budget as the current operating budget until the final budget is adopted.
Second.
Ginger Bryant moved and Doug Dodd seconded the motion to adopt the tentative budget as the current operating budget until the final budget is adopted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 5-0. A final budget hearing is scheduled for Tuesday, September 8th, 2015 at 5:30 p.m. at the Citrus County School Board District Services Center located at 1007 West Main Street on State Road 44, Inverness, Florida. We are adjourned, and I will open up our workshop back up, and Mr. Simon.
Thank you. Part of the process for the calendar following policy is notification to school board members and to the school community of the committee composed of teachers, support, instructional staff, bargaining unit, administrators, community members, advisory council representation, district staff, district administrators, and you have that attached. Included also is a timeline. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Simon, I just wanted to share too, for board members that don't know, and Mr. West, if you need to, Ms. Bradshaw, if you need to expand on it, the calendar committee, along with other committees, were recently identified by an audit that requires this to be of a public record. So,
Correct. Mr. Blocker sent me a list of all the committees today, I believe, or yesterday, that was flagged by the audit and indicated me and him to get together by the end of the week and go through and make sure that if they need to be done in the sunshine, that we would post our meeting notices on the school board's webpage.
and that was going to be my question. It makes sense that they're public record ones and they require a posting and so forth. As far as sunshine, does that mean that committee members, like board members, could not communicate with each other outside of that meeting?
No, it just means it's a meeting that they're gonna make, there's two types of committees. You have a committee, a fact-finding committee that brings all facts and information back to the board, which is not governed by the sunshine law. And you have other committees that are formed that make recommendations back to the board. And if they exclude certain facts, in those meetings need to be done in the sunshine.
Okay.
So that they have public input.
So they largely are a public record, they have to be public, has to have an opportunity to be there
If
and
it's a-
notice
if
and
it's
so
a-
forth.
If it's a committee.
Okay.
So we will post this information to our website as well as a notification to invite the public to be participants in this meeting should they choose. Notice on this, the parent representative, we have a replacement of Ms. Middleton for Mrs., one of our PTA representatives. The timeline, and although we copied yours in black and white, the italicized section would be what needs to be brought to your attention today, that the board agrees that they notify the association 30 days in advance prior to it being set up, calendar committee members, as well as when the meeting will be, and that meeting is September 16th. And you notice it will follow a sequence as coded there by steps. So I will come back to you in the October board meeting with 2 or 3 options that you will choose to recommend or not, or modify to present to our stakeholders for approval. And finally, it will come to December when the results from the votes are made by all of our staff for your final approval. When that's done, we will post it to the public. Important to know, so what has been the profile of calendar, while our teachers start the first week of August, it is an end in May, and this is the 7th year in a row we follow that pattern. That pattern is in place for several reasons, one of which is to ensure that we align to the college schedule. Second reason, to make sure that we end the first term by December so students are not stretched over a holiday break to take final exams. And then it also aligns to the state exam schedule that occurs in December. We will continue to have major holidays, full vacation. That will be our attempt and effort. We will continue with your recommendation. Mrs. Himmel recommended the professional days in a similar number and pattern. We know that there have been increased test dates, and that will continue, and we just try to work around it. And likewise, and I have asked Gloria to be here to make sure that you're aware that WTC, our technical college, has some modifications of this calendar in order to meet their students and their school community members more, well, actually it's different. It's a very different service, so you have in the past approved that modification.
Ms. Bishop, did you have anything more you wanted to share on that? Or?
No, we just would like to continue to not have those half days when all the other schools have the half-day professional day. As much as we'd like to have that time with our students being on clock hours, they would like to complete their programs as soon as possible instead of taking another half-day off here and there.
Thank you, Ms. Bishop.
So this slide shows some of the concerns and reminders that, again, testing creates limitations. The design is always challenging. The county fair for the next year will be in 2017, March 27th to April 1st. And so we will look at how that aligns to the test schedule and make a good decision. And each team looks at that carefully. We share that with them, then they move forward in their creating of their calendar. Remind all of the law of August 10th. We're appreciative that our district chooses that start date. We remind folks about flexibility as well as that this is about serving the needs of our students, first and foremost. And that it varies at every level, elementary, middle, high. So I end with this. If you would like to make any recommendations that will be included into our posting of these as almost minutes, or if you would like to submit those and/or submit those to Mr. Kennedy, who as chairman will serve on.
They can actually give those to Ms. Verderami if they are separate from this moment. One that comes to mind is that we have historically had taken Veterans Day off so that our students could participate in the Veterans Day Parade. So the question would be is, I am supportive of that practice continuing.
Yes.
But that would be one thing I think that comes to mind. Like a recommitment to the fair days, that we want to continue. The board hasn't changed that view so that we can send that message to the community that we are in agreement that we need to try and accommodate the affair. The other thing is, and this has come up in the past, is the 2 weeks at the Christmas holiday break. We've historically kind of made sure there was 2 full weeks off. Is that still what the board would like to attempt? A lot of that, by the way, was for families that was accommodating, not necessarily anybody else. And it wasn't hard. Yes, ma'am.
The only thing that I remember in days past is hurricane makeup days.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to have hurricane, God forbid, we would miss school and we need to be able to make those days up. But I'm with you on 2 weeks unless we have hurricane makeup days.
Yes, sir.
I noticed that August 10th is a Wednesday. I know August 10th this year was a Monday, so I would hope there would be some discussion on that. August 10th obviously may not always be on a Monday or Wednesday, so is there, looking at the time schedule, would it be better to start on a Monday than a Wednesday?
Well, there's mixed views
Right,
out there from
but-
the teachers on
Is
those
there?
days.
Mhm.
Right now,
Right, I think-
legislation says August 10th.
August 10th, however, so as I tell you, in my final opportunity to present this calendar, Mr. Dodd, Wednesday is a better day. Schools will tell you, particularly elementary, that Wednesday is a better start day when they implement the step-by-step program for the kindergarten students, because they will come in 1/3 on Wednesday, 1/3 on Thursday, 1/3 on Friday, and then they all arrive on Monday with an opportunity for the schools to regroup, refocus, and have that beginning of the week start. The high schools tell us that they like the Wednesday start because there's a little excitement in the air in the middle school and high school and the secondary world, and that there's a kind of a filtering that takes place the first few days, then a down to business on Monday. So that next year, leap year, Wednesday start is viewed in a positive way by schools. After that, I'm not sure, because you're right, it moves to a Thursday, August 10th, and a Friday, August 10th, and when you start jumping around and shifting it to the next Monday, then you're now playing with, am I able to get 90 days done by December to complete the first term? Or do I have to take it away from a full week holiday such as Thanksgiving or other? So that will be the challenge in the future.
Well, and the legislation states you cannot start any earlier than August.
Correct. Mrs.
And
Melba,
that
who knows what legislation has never, there's not been stability lately, so I'm not sure what will happen.
And Ms. Hemmel, maybe you can talk about, because I think that's something too, that with the legislative delegation that you talked about, a suggestion.
Yes, we're going to suggest that they say the week of August 10th. Because you're right, Mr. Simon, when it comes on Thursday and Friday,
Right.
you have to start school on a Friday, that's kind of,
You know, the people showing up.
Yeah.
There needs to be some
If
flexibility.
we're gonna work with semantics, I agree with Mr. Bradshaw. If we could put one of our points as the second Monday or the first Monday or whatever, no sooner than.
well, let's not forget who lobbies against us.
Mhm.
Education goes with no money, your theme parks go with $1 gazillion, so that's who lobbies against us. And they win every year.
And that's been our
Put it on
problem.
our list to talk to them.
I think we need to have some flexibility,
There needs to be something.
because I'm truly tired of the hotel lobbyists telling us when we're starting school. And that's really where we're at. So the issue too, though, Ms. Bryant, you brought up hurricane days. I know in the past, that week of Thanksgiving, we used to kind of budget in there. Hurricane days, the problem is hurricane season really had just started, so that wasn't when we needed them, and so that kind of came back to that week at Thanksgiving time. Now, some of that I know we leave usually to the planning, but does the board have any feelings that they need to express that we add into the notes on anything in either direction? And a lot of those things, I think the three calendars, you hope, will emerge with some of those answers for us. Mr. Simon, is there anything else?
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Emmel, did you have anything else? Ms. Bradshaw, just checking with you.
Yes, sir.
You're set? Assistant Superintendent, did you have anything? With that, we are adjourned on our workshop. Thank you, everyone.